And speaking of traffic, some of you guys that are old enough to drive can also relate to slow ass drivers.
Nah, slow drivers is definitely worse than like slow walkers, because slow drivers, I feel like they're scared to drive. And if you're scared to drive, why are you even on the road? You might as well just get an Uber. This is called Pet Peeves by Clumsy. Let's tap in.
Pet peeves are pretty much some specific scenarios that are just annoying as hell. And I know the idea of making a video about pet peeves is low-key ran through, but I just need to hop on here and vent to you guys, bruh. I gotta find a healthier, alternate way to release my stress besides from, you know what I mean?
And that nigga be going in every single day, bro. You gotta chill on your meat, gang. Slow walkers. Bro, not facts, bro, because I was in school, bro. I'd be in a rush, bro, trying to get to class. Nigga just walking mad slow with no urgency. And it's like, I don't even know, bro. Especially in like the city too, if you ever walk around in the city or like in a store, in Target. Why are you walking slow in Target? Nigga, it's Target. Ain't nothing enjoyable about Target to be strolling around, having a great time. Just buy your groceries and get out of there, bro. It's Target. Ain't nothing tough about Target for real. Except the BDs that be on there sometimes. They be tough. But outside of that, bro, Target is not nice.
One of my biggest pet peeves has got to be slow walkers. Don't get me wrong, there's a difference.
Slow drivers too. Y'all ever drive and like you can't get nowhere because the person in front of you, you're in a 2-lane, the person in front of you and the person to the right is all driving the same speed, so you can't get nowhere? That should be blowing me, bro. I be wanting to crash, to nuke the whole street, nuke the whole highway. But like, that's crazy, so I can't do that, but that'd be blowing me.
Between people that walk slow and slow walkers. People that walk slow, they're valid. They stick to the side of the footpath or hallway so that other people can easily pass by.
How I walked past the girl I was calling mommy and making 6-7 jokes with last time.
If they want to. Now slow walkers, they're the type to walk right in the middle of the path while also—
That's true, but they be walking slow and they be walking in the middle too. So now you're a dickhead twice. Cause why are you in the middle and why are you walking with no urgency? The fuck is wrong with you?
Walking side by side with their friends, blocking the whole way and just disrupting the flow of people walking. Me personally, I do walk kinda slow.
Like, what is this, bro? How the hell do you even end up in this predicament? How is he a square the other way? His eyes are on, like, nigga, what? Why is his tongue to his ass? See, this is what I be saying, bro. Like, what are these shows even about?
But I always stick to the side and I make sure to not get in people's way. But in certain situations where I need to walk fast,
you look good.
Slow walkers are generally like the worst thing ever. Like, they would have me waiting behind them and I'm just trying to look for a tiny gap for me to squeeze through. When I'm walking in any busy area, like at school or at a shopping center, it sometimes feels like I'm cutting up through traffic. And speaking of traffic, some of you guys that are old enough to drive can also relate to slow ass drivers. And slow drivers might be even worse.
That's all I was saying, bro. Nah, slow drivers is definitely worse than like slow walkers, because sometimes you're driving at a speed, you switch lanes and like the car in front of you driving so slow and you don't even peep it until you're like, it's too late and you could hit them. So like, slow drivers, I feel like they're scared to drive. And if you're scared to drive, why are you even on the road? You might as well just get an Uber.
Worse than slow walkers, because they can probably cause an accident that would potentially end your life, bruh, and I'm not trying to deal with that. Another extension of my slow walker or driver pet peeve is when a person is walking slow, but not slow enough to the point where you can easily overtake them, and you need to decide whether you want to stay back or just floor it past them. If I'm being real, bruh, I don't really have a problem with slow walkers, even though they are a little bit annoying. Like, it's tolerable, just as long as I'm not about to be late to something, or if there's an emergency.
Like, chat, what am I looking at? And I know someone used AI to do this, wasting all those water bottles to make shit like this. This is why the earth is gonna be cooked in 4 or 5 years, bro. Why are you on a track and field like
something, or if there's an emergency, like if I desperately need a piss or take a shit.
Okay, piss. Wanna go to war?
My first ever pet peeve growing up has got to be people chewing food with their mouth open or chewing food and talking at the same time. Just like the slow walkers, there are some cases where chewing food with your mouth open is fine, just as long as you're not like yang 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 and fucking smack.
Bro, I hate that too. I also hate when people chew gum loud as hell. Like, why am I 2 rooms away and I still hear you chewing gum? The gum, it doesn't taste that good, and that the noise, it just sounds weird, bro. It's just And it's like, I know you're doing all that for no reason, and then you like blow the bubbles too. The gum ain't that good. The brand ain't that nice. The breath don't stink that much. Stop that shit, bro.
About your lips and making a whole lot of sound. And talking with food in your mouth is sometimes acceptable too.
Bro, I don't know how people watch mukbangs. How can you watch someone eat and like the way they be eating too? They be eating mad nasty, like all the stuff all over their fingers and their hands and their mouth and their face. The food just looks so big. Like it'll be a mukbang and it's a lobster, 2 burgers, some salmon, a piece of turkey, and some lasagna. And then it's a girl eating it and she looks like she weighs 135. You're not eating that. And even if you're eating that, you don't normally eat that. What are you doing?
Who the fuck made this?
Just as long as the food stays in your mouth and it's not flying everywhere across the table, into my drink, onto my face, like hell nah. Keep your mouth closed, bruh, damn. The first memories of mine where I got irritated from people smacking or chewing food while talking was back in primary school when I was like 7 or 8. One of my Korean friends, he would bring like rice dishes to school for lunch, and I'm not gonna lie, his lunch looked really good. He probably had the best eats compared to everyone else. So pretty much, when me, him, and the rest of our friends sat down to eat, he would always talk with food in his mouth and it would be flying everywhere. Like I vividly remember looking down on my uniform and seeing random grains of rice on it, even though I didn't eat it.
Nigga said rice gum. Not gonna lie, the concept of a rice gum is so crazy because I just think of chewed up ass gum and some rice. That does not sound hard. That's a very interesting name, rice gum.
Any rice at all for lunch that day. And if you're tempted,
especially when they eating some nasty shit like raw octopus, people genuinely eat anything, bro. I know some dude, he used to eat crickets. What could possess you to look at a cricket and think that's just a delicacy, bro?
The lore, this same kid was also mentioned in my types of Asians at school video, where he went from snitching on me for saying swear words to later joining a gang after we started high school. And he had no business joining a gang. He lived in a big ass house, had 2 parents, went to a Christian school, like he was a good fucking boy. Anyways, bruh, feel free to watch that video after this one if you want. Staying in the realm of bullshit happening during school time, another pet peeve of mine is when people at school try really hard to sound smart. And with this one in particular, there's a lot of exceptions to it, because there are a lot of people that are actually smart and ask a lot of genuine and relevant questions, but there's always that one guy that just drags it and goes out of their way to ask long-winded, unnecessary questions that aren't even that relevant to the topic. And they be spamming big words for no reason as well. Every once in a while, there will be an obnoxious person like this that is actually smart, and they're also usually the ones to walk around the class and ask people what they got on the test just so they can compare their results. And this is probably the shit I hate the most.
Not gonna lie, that's low-key flexing, because what do you mean you're the smartest kid in class and you're walking around class trying to compare results? Nigga, you know you're trying to flex. Oh yeah, bro, you got a 60, I got a 100, bro. Like, you're so tough, bro. You're just going band for band with niggas in class about your tests for no reason.
In school, bruh. Like what I got on the test is none of your business. Like get off my deck. The only times I ever asked other people what they got is if I failed, bruh. And I usually ask my friends only just to see if I was the only one. And if I found out one of the homies failed with me too, then it's lit, bro. We're in this together, dude. Fuck yeah. And I'm not trying to...
Bro, what? Where does he get these clips from?
Together.
Why is it a bunch of shirtless men in a bait?
Dude.
You know, actually, I don't think I want to know that. Matter of fact, y'all got it, bro. I don't even want to know what's going on here, bro.
Fuck yeah. And I'm not trying to encourage failing, by the way. Like at my school, we had these practice tests that we would do before the real final exam. After talking about a school-related pet peeve, I might as well talk about a work/job pet peeve as well. I'm sure some of you guys might have a part-time job working in fast food or retail right now, and I can guarantee there's at least one coworker that's gonna act like this, and it is the person that takes their job way too seriously. Now don't get me wrong, even though you may be working a part-time job, it's still important to put in a bit of effort and make sure you're delivering good quality service. But at the same time, trying insanely hard to suck up to the managers or trying to belittle other people for making...
Not gonna lie, I never experienced this, but I feel bad for those of y'all who do. All the workers I ever met at any establishment I've ever been at, they've all been pretty smooth. I ain't never encountered nothing like this.
Making tiny mistakes is just annoying as fuck. I used used to work in fast food, and there was this one guy, I'ma name him Matt for the sake of the video. Matt would always snitch and call people out for the smallest shit. I remember one time I put 2 slices of bacon instead of 1 on this burger, and he was like, that's a little bit generous, don't you think? And he just snatched the extra piece of bacon off the burger. Like, bro, the reason I put 2 slices of bacon instead of 1 was because the first slice of bacon I did put was a smaller than average piece of bacon, and I had to add another slice of bacon to ensure that it had a justifiable amount. Like, I will never understand fast food workers that act like all the ingredients being used for the food is coming out of their pocket, and they end up being stingy with all the servings. Now, if I was working at a
I was at Chipotle. I was trying to get some lettuce. They gave me a half scoop of lettuce and then moved on, bro. Usually they like give you like a whole little layer of lettuce. I'm like, nigga, you got beef with me or something, bro?
Cool family-owned restaurant, I would definitely be
a pizza box.
More conscious with the quantities of each serving, because you know, I'm not trying to slim down their profit margins, especially since they're family-owned. But for big-ass fast food corporations, they don't give a fuck about you, bro. They just see you as a number. I remember being on my very last shift working fast food. I was putting in extra items in all the orders, bro. Like if I had to make a 10-piece nugget, I would put 13 or 14 instead. And if I had to make a cheeseburger, if I felt like it, I would turn that shit into a double cheeseburger. This is all alleged though, by the way. Let's get on to—
Nah, you're a big bag, bro. You don't gotta sugarcoat it. You don't gotta gaslight us. Like we know, bro. It's alright. It's alright to be up there with the biggest of backs in the world. You know, if that's you, that's you, bro.
The next one. I've experienced this pet peeve the least out of all the ones I've talked about, but this one definitely pisses me off the most and spikes my cortisol levels to the moon, bruh. And it is the people that call you out for being a quiet person. Once I hit puberty, I went from being kinda talkative and loud to a bit more anxious and quiet, and around the same time, a lot of my best friends that I've known since the very beginning of primary school started to move off and leave to different schools. This happening, along with me becoming a bit more naturally reserved after puberty, led to me being pretty quiet, especially if I wasn't around my friends or people that I was cool with. The story I'm about to tell right now happened when I was 11 to 12 years old. We were in health class learning about I don't even know, just health related shit. And these health classes took place in this specific location.
Health class in an RV, interesting. I've actually seen something like this before, so I'm not entirely shocked, but tight.
Only a select special few of you will recognize this place. Like, this is elite ball knowledge right here. So in the health class, we got randomly put into groups for this one activity, and the people that I got grouped up with, they were like the loud popular girls that were annoying as fuck. I remember we had to take turns to explain our answer to certain questions the teacher would ask, and when it was my turn to speak, right after I finished talking, one of the girls was like, "Oh my god, he talks." Like, bro.
I've definitely said something like that before. Bro, I've definitely said something like that before in class. I've definitely heard someone talk and they never talked all year. And I was like, you talk? I definitely said that before. I definitely did. So I can even hate on this pet peeve because I'm definitely the cause of this pet peeve.
Yo, I gotta calm down, bro. This happened so long ago, but still.
I definitely said that before. But at least I've had that said to me too before. And I didn't really care. So I don't really get the anger for this, you know. In my opinion, it's not that deep, but you know, for some people it is.
People that go out of their way to be like, why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk more? Are the most insufferable people, bruh. The only other time where I got kinda called out for being quiet was when—
I've never asked, why don't you talk more though? Because you just don't want to talk. It'd be like that. I ain't never asked that, but I have been shocked at someone talking. There was this one dude in my 8th grade. He used to stand in front of the school every single day like this. Just like that, bro. Until the bell rang, he would walk up to the school and hit these all the time, bro. I don't know what was up with him. I don't know what his problem was, but that man was going through it. I ain't never heard him talk. Actually, the one time I did, the teacher called his name. His voice was mad deep. I'm like, yo, you actually have a voice box, my nigga? Yo, I'm low-key scared to talk to the quiet motherfuckers. They just be mad at shit for no reason. Sometimes they look mad, but they're not actually mad. Like some girls, they'll have a mean mug, but they're actually low-key nice. There was this one girl in my 12th grade. Nobody really talked to her because she was quiet and looks mean, but she was actually mad nice. She was cool.
I was still working in fast food, and one of my coworkers that I was was cool with told me that one of the other coworkers said that they didn't like me because I was quiet. Like, come on, bro.
Not liking someone because they're quiet is actually crazy, bro. What? How do you hate somebody because they don't talk? They just don't jack you, bro. That's just how it be. Everybody talks. It's just like niggas just don't want to talk to you, bro. And you're mad at that? Like, come on, bro.
I'm just here to do my work, get my money, and leave. If you're introverted or just selective with who you give your energy out to, I know you can feel me on this one. My bad if I was away for too long. I did end up getting sick for a bit, and I still am. But more uploads are coming though, don't worry. Peace.